Denver Broncos Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. The GM Broncos channel. I want to talk about Justin Simmons. And before feel-good fans and Kool-Aid drinkers who like to tend to just throw numbers around, oh, he's a top 5, he's, top this, that, without really looking at anything in depth. And they want to feel good, I want to pay Justin Simmons, we want to keep you here. We are GM centric. We look at this more from a GM point of view than a feel-good fan point of view. And getting rid of Justin Simmons isn't because we think he's a horrible player, he's a bum, get him out of town. We don't operate on that principle. We look at game film, and when we look also at the numbers, the how much we're paying and where we could put money elsewhere. And in our opinion, we feel we're already overpaying for Jackson. Kareem Jackson. It's just not something that smart organizations do. It's something that clown organizations would do. So that's our reason for not paying Justin Simmons. And I don't even know if he's going to be able to get the money he wants anyway. Maybe he can, but a team that desperately needs a safety somewhere. But there's a couple problems too with Justin Simmons. He is inconsistent, and the reason that I believe that he's inconsistent, he is not a seam-to-seam type of a safety. He seems to lack the speed. That's why I think he's inconsistent, or we believe that he's inconsistent. But we believe that also that he's no Polamalu, he's no Atwater. People like to throw numbers around. Well, we look at film, and why we believe that Simmons is a top 10. He certainly doesn't command the money. He's already making a lot of money. If you want to follow sports talk radio, you want to follow all the people who have put the Broncos where they are with their suggestions. We said don't go after Hot Tub Time Machine, the right tackle. And we begged them not to do it. They did it, and now we're stuck with him. We said don't bring in Boye, don't bring in Casey. That was a complete waste of time and money and space, roster space. And the players we've picked, they went to their organizations and thrived and made those organizations better. So this idea that free agents somehow, there's no good free agents. It's just nonsense. Good organizations can bring in the player personnel that helps their team in free agency. Bad teams can't do that. Bad organizations never can do that. And there's a lot of teams that can't figure out, they want to go out and get names or washed up people. But we like to get up and coming people. And so we believe that if the Broncos are smart, they can get Malik Hooker, who is that seam-to-seam type of a safety. We believe Hooker's actually a step up, and we can get him for less money than Simmons. Let me put it this way. We don't want to simply get rid of Simmons and Jackson because we hate them. That's what an idiot fan does, okay? We look at game film. We look at film at other players. We're looking at salary caps. Denver is over the top with their safeties and salary cap. It's ridiculous. And not only that, Jackson and Simmons are both overrated. They really are for the amount of money they're spending on that position. And you can clear that money out by getting rid of both players, and you can not skip a beat with the safety position. You do that by bringing in Marcus Williams, who I believe is better than Jackson and Simmons from the New Orleans Saints. And, you take the chance on with the injury on Hooker that if he rehabs, you're going to have two better safeties. Now, granted, it's contingent on Hooker's rehab, but if he rehabs, you'll have two better safeties, in our opinion, for less money, and money that you can put elsewhere, needs that the defense need. The front line, linebacking perhaps, maybe a tackle, offensive right tackle. But that money could go somewhere where it's really needed, and you don't skip a beat with the free safeties and the strong safety positions. So again, we don't, just mindlessly throw numbers around. We're going to give you film.
So for everybody saying that Justin Simmons is a top 5 safety, I just gave you film on a guy named Malik Hooker, who I believe is twice as better than Justin Simmons. And Malik Hooker has the ability, has the size, has the speed, has the agility, has the instincts, most importantly, and the right angles to tackle to play in the National Football League. Every time I watch Malik Hooker on film, he's making plays. Every time I watch Malik Hooker try to tackle, he is taking the right angle, unlike Justin Simmons. So if you want to get a guy that is a lot cheaper than Justin Simmons and who can be, quote unquote, your Justin Simmons, then Malik Hooker's your guy. That's Malik Hooker, ladies and gentlemen. That is Malik Hooker. Now, I'm pausing it so I can show you guys where it's at. Bang. You see that? You see that? That's very rare from a safety standpoint, the makeup speed and the ability to track the football like that. So right here, you have one of the Colts defenders, slot corner. Just look at Malik Hooker. He's right behind him. He's tracking one of these guys. Look how he tracks the football and uses his length and ability to deflect the pass. Bang. Right there, ladies and gentlemen. Right here, you have a running play with Sony Michel up the middle. Look, he shoots up like a rocket right there.
And that's where Hooker comes in. The most popular way to attack this style of defense downfield, by far, is to hit them in either of these two deep seams. It can be with a tight end, it can be with a wide receiver making a late stem inside on his route, it can even be with a running back that's motioned out into the slot. These two seams are where they're going to try to get chunk plays. So having a safety with the speed to get from one seam to the other as the ball's in the air, that's huge. That speed extends the range of where the safety can get while the ball's in flight. And the more range you have, the easier it is for you to get that breakup or just outright intercept it and take it back the other way. Going back to the example of Seattle's defense, the reason why Pete Carroll took Earl Thomas in the first round of his first ever draft as the Seahawks coach was because he knew he was going to run a cover 3 and he needed to have a rangy free safety that can take away those passes at the seams. Or if they're in man cover 1, he needed a safety with the range to actually help his corners over the top instead of just being vaguely in the area but not fast enough to actually make a difference.